Welcome friends to Muskrat Links. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to go into the SkyTrak wedge matrix and get our wedges dialed in and show you guys how that works. It's a pretty cool feature, and since in our last video I won a new set of wedges from the Muskrat Links Sim Tour courtesy of my dad, so I need to get those dialed in. Let's hop over to the SkyTrak and see what we can do with the wedge matrix. And here are the wedges, guys. We got some CG14 zip grooves courtesy of my dad for winning at Blue Jack National last week at the Muskrat Links Sim Tour.
I just love the fans. It's great to win one for the fans.
That event was a ton of fun. Make sure you guys are subscribed for cool content like that. Let's jump over and get the matrix set up. In we go here, and I've got the magnifier on to hopefully let you guys see some numbers a little bit better, but we're gonna go into the game improvement here, straight into the wedge matrix, and you'll see how we can set this up. And right off the bat, it says, welcome to the wedge matrix. Similar to the clock drill, you will use 4 different swing lengths for each club in this exercise: pitch, half shot, 3/4 shot, and full swings. When finished, you can use the matrix out on the course to help you choose the best club and swing length combination for any given shot. Cool, that's exactly what we're looking for here, so let's jump in and begin. As you can see on this screen, we've got a bunch of different choices to make. First of all, let's go ahead and look at the clubs. We want to use the actual clubs from our bag here. So if we start with a pitching wedge, we can go ahead and select things from our custom bag, which is ideal for us. So we've got our pitching wedge, so we'll go ahead and drop that in there. Gap wedge is going to be our new 50 degree, so we'll put that in. Sand wedge, it's kind of a sand wedge, we'll go with the 54. And then lastly, the lob wedge, we've got the 58. So now that we've got our club selected, we can select which type of shots we want. We'll do them all for demonstration purposes in this episode here. I usually find myself basically just doing either like a half swing or a full swing. I'm kind of a field golfer myself, but I mean, that's part of this exercise, is to kind of dial in those shots so you know exactly what you're gonna get. So if we head over and look at the number of clubs, you could change that if you didn't have 4 wedges. Number of swing types, 4. If you wanted to do just, the half or the full, you could set this down to 2. Shots per swing, we're gonna go ahead and set that to, we'll leave it at 5 actually, that's fine. And we'll take the best 4, why not? Now I'm not gonna show you guys all my swings because that would be pretty boring, but we'll hit a few here just so you can get a sense of what's going on, and then we'll see the results at the end. Lob wedge up first with just a pitch, let's go. Just a pitch here is all we're looking for, so a little back and forth action as if we were gonna kind of bump it up over a bunker. Then once we get through our 5 shots, as you can see, it prompts you with the next club. Still gonna stick with the lob wedge, but we're gonna do a half swing this time. For me, a half swing is kind of when I start to feel my hands breaking the plane here of being above my waist or not. So I'm gonna take it back to about waist height and then bring it forward. Good first shot there, right down the line, 38 yards. One important thing to remember as we hit our 5th shot here on the half shots, you always want to make sure you're accelerating through the ball no matter what length swing you're taking. So just keep that in mind as you're hitting these short shots. Three-quarter swing up next now with the lob wedge. Let's see if we can get this dialed in. For me, a 3/4 swing with any type of wedge is going to be almost getting to full extension and then almost getting to full finish as well. I almost saw off my finish just a little bit. It's kind of almost a punch shot, if you will, but still taking almost a full swing. Another good starter right down the line there, 68-yard carry. Beautiful grouping on those shots so far. Let's see where the last one goes. Perfect, right in there. Okay, on to the next shot, which is going to be a full swing with our 58. I don't think I need to explain to you guys what a full swing looks like, but I'm really curious to see what my spin numbers are going to be with this, because this is the highest lofted club I've used in my bag for a while, so I'm expecting these numbers to be a little over 11,000. That's better. That's a lot more of the flight I was looking for, carrying out to just about 100 yards and backing up. 11,600 on the backspin. Nice. All right, and that is all our shots done with the 58. Let's move up to the 54 and see how it does. And last shot with the 54 here, heading down, good distance on that one. Nice little cluster. All right, on to the new 50-degree wedge, and we'll see how he does. And the last ball from the set here is going to bring us up to the pitching wedge next. Let's see how we do there. One thing I did immediately notice with those new wedges is they're about an inch longer than my pitching wedge, which is definitely a bit weird. That's why they felt a little bit heavier on the course for sure. I had a lot more to work with on those clubs than I should. Almost done with the rounds here. Just got the full swing left with the pitching wedge. This should be about a 125 carry. Looking pretty good, should be about right on the number. 125 carry, what did I tell you guys? This club I know, the rest of them, they could use some work. And that's the last pitching wedge heading downrange, just short of that 125 mark, I think. Yep, all right, that is it. The data is in. Let's check it out and see how we did. Once you've finished hitting your shots, this is the screen that you're going to be presented with, and it does a really good job at breaking down each club that you hit, the length of swing you were hitting, and how far it actually went. Carry is going to be the thing we're most interested in here, of course. So we can go in and look through and see kind of what we did. Our pitch numbers kind of going steadily up here. My pitching wedge, not so much though. I was expecting this to be closer to about 40 or 42 yards. So maybe I let off the gas a little bit there with the pitch. But what this does is it really allows you to open up your game and see the shots that you could be hitting. If you're like most golfers, you get inside of 100 yards and you say, okay, well, now I'm inside 100, I just have to use my 56 or my 60 or whatever it is. But really, you've got a lot more options in your arsenal. So if you jump in there and say, all right, we've got a 75-yard shot here, realistically, there's a few different shots you could pull out of your bag to hit this. It could be a 3/4 swing lob wedge. It could be a half swing gap wedge or half swing pitching wedge, depending on where you actually land here. So it opens up your game to a lot more possibilities of the shot shape you want to hit. So depending on where you are, if you need to keep it low and go under some trees, maybe you go with the half swing pitching wedge. But if you got to go high and get over a bunker, maybe you go with a 3/4 lob wedge instead. So it really opens up your game to a little bit more creativity knowing all of these numbers. If we go on to the next page here, you can look and see the dispersion circles for all of those yardages to see kind of what the gaps were in between each shot. Obviously, I have a larger gap here between my half swing and my 3/4 swing, which makes sense. I feel like I'm putting physically a lot more effort into the 3/4 swing than I am on the half swing. Let's see if that's true for all of the clubs. This was just the lob wedge for starters. Sand wedge, a bit more spread. That's kind of the same gap between the pitch, the half, and the 3/4, so that's good to see. Gap wedge, pretty big gap between my pitch and my half swing, and a little bit tighter up here on the 3/4 swing and full swing. And lastly, the pitching wedge, the club I've had in my bag the longest. Definitely some tighter dispersion circles here than some of the other clubs, as you can see, to really get it dialed in. Of course, you can export and save this data as well if you want to use it for something later, and you can always find this in your shot history as well back at the main menu of the SkyTrak. Just to verify that that information is there, we go into the history, we go into the game improvement side of things, and this will show us all of our shot history from the various items in the game improvement area. And here we can find the wedge matrix that we just did, and we can find all of that raw data as well presented out in number form. This is usually what I end up exporting because this information is more useful to me. Let's go ahead and see what those spin numbers were on the lob wedge. So that was one of the first things we did. So it would have been full swing lob wedge. Yeah, our spin average here is just about at 11,000, so that is good to see. Pretty cool. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about the wedge matrix. I'll be happy to answer them or look up those answers if I don't know them myself. Be sure to subscribe to Muskrat Links. We've got a ton of cool content coming your way. We just hit 500 subscribers as well, so I'm super happy about that. Coming up next week, we've got the Muskrat Links Sim Tour. It's the Muskrat Major. We got double points, so those wedges need to be dialed in if we want to score big there. But I think that's going to be it for me. Have fun out there, everyone.